All right, good morning once again. Welcome back to your unique devotion. Today we're back at the beginning of chapter 9 of the book of Hebrews. So, Hebrews chapter 9, it's entitled The Earthly Sanctuary. And I'm going to read verses 1 through 5 and ask the God question. So, I'm going to kind of talk about it while we go along here. Then indeed, even the first covenant had ordinances of divine service and the earthly sanctuary. For a tabernacle was prepared, so they prepared a place, the first part in which was the lampstand, the table, and the showbread, which is called the sanctuary. So they had this room that they made, first of all, where those things had been. So picture yourself walking into a room, I believe maybe like a tent sort of thing. I believe they set it up as a tent at one point. And behind the second veil, the part of the tabernacle which is called the holiest of all, which had the golden censer, which was a thing for burning incense, the ark of the covenant, and the ark of the covenant overlaid on all sides with gold, in which were the golden pot that had the manna, Aaron's rod that budded, and the tablets of the covenant. And above it were the cherubim of glory overshadowing the mercy seat. Now, those things that were just described, um, they're describing the Ark of the Covenant, how it was just ordained in gold. It was very beautiful. It had the golden pot that had the manna that the Israelites ate from when they were lost in the wilderness. Um, Aaron's rod and the tablets of the covenant. So the Ten Commandments written on the tablets, and above it then has cherubims. And of these things we cannot speak in detail. So some of them, what they're talking about here, some of them may not have actually seen these things, but have, uh, through passage of time, have taken the story and the understanding and moved it on. Some of them may not have even had a Jewish background, so they might not have seen it. I think that's kind of what's going on here when he says that they can't speak of it in detail. Like, they know of it, but they can't completely talk about it. It could also maybe be a little bit of there's only so much detail that they could give. um, most people weren't allowed into the holiest of all. It's also called the holiest of holies. So very few people would have known the very specifics of what was behind that veil. So just something to think about. So here's the question after all of that. This is kind of something that didn't quite stand out right away. I had to pause and really think about it. What activities do you engage in every day? Um, I say that because when it talks about the service in the sanctuary, the verses begin a long comparison of the Old Testament sacrifice and the sacrifice of Christ that continues into chapter 10. The first part is a summary of the Old Testament sanctuary and its activities. So everything that was described there are things that they used. They had a place that they built. It was very physical. They had things that they put built as habits in their day to walk them through things. Placed reminders around them, but it's all physical reminders, a physical place, and then they use them in rituals to not forget and to walk them through their journey, so to speak. You could say that by opening up your Bible or by watching this video, you're kind of doing the same. You're building a habit and hopefully using questions and the words to build something that acts as a reminder for things in your life and kind of walks you through a journey. So what activities do you engage in every day? Now, this is a little bit deeper because what I want you to do, what I'm going to do all day, is actually look at how I react to things, not just on the physical level, because we're on the other side of the cross. So we've been given inner peace, so to speak, and understanding a little bit more of who you are and what you actually do, your activities throughout the day may allow you to see you more truthfully, more of who you really are, and not just who you think you are or what you think you do. And not that this is supposed to be a point out the good things that you do and the bad things that you do, just to recognize the truth of what your activities are through the day. What is your activities when you walk through the first tabernacle? What happens when you walk into the second part of your day, the second tabernacle? I'm just sort of putting them together a little bit. Maybe you have a third part of the day, fourth or fifth part of the day, that you've built extra tabernacles, extra things that you do, extra places that you go. Recognize what they are, and you may find some things that you don't really know why they're there. Just a little side, you could look at brushing your teeth as walking into the first tabernacle. Okay, you walk into the bathroom, that's your first tabernacle. What things have you placed in there that you do every single day that are your tools for reminders? Brushing your teeth becomes an activity of keeping your mouth clean, keeping your teeth clean. It's good for your health, not just for look, but internally it helps to keep things clean, and actually helps fight heart disease. So there's purpose to it, just like they did inside the tabernacle, building those habits. So do you see how it's kind of coming together? Like, just because it's not some big religious ritual, it doesn't mean that there aren't things throughout your day that should be a part of your day that are your tabernacle situations. So, what activities do you engage in every day? I encourage you to look that up today. Really pay attention to what you're doing. Go a little deeper with it. On that note, I hope that God gives you all the blessings you deserve, and even more so, all the blessings you don't deserve. Have a wonderful day. That's a deep one. Don't overdo it. I'll see you tomorrow.